Hi, YouTube. This is a third part of my documentary of my life, and I've got a ways to go. I'll probably end up making 10-minute videos and do it that way. So, part three starts basically when we moved to Oklahoma. When we first moved here, we moved moving to get away from drugs, to get away from all that stuff and violence. And Ponca City, where we live, where we moved to, wasn't as bad at all. It was a smaller town of Oklahoma and everything else, and etc. It was a lot safer and a lot less dangerous at the time until years later we grew up and there's so many tweakers and everything. But anyways, that'll be a different video for later on. But anyways, so when we moved here, a few things, like when we first moved here, our dad was sober for 6.5 years from drugs. And our family was together. It was my dad, my brothers, Justice, John, our sister Stephanie, me, our aunt, and our grandma. And we moved here because we knew our cousin. And anyways, how we moved here was our cousin came and he got our grandma, our aunt, and Justice and John. Then our dad and our sister Stephanie and me stayed for another week or two to finish packing and everything else, and we had to take a bus. And anyways, when we first moved here, our dad was getting away from the drugs and all that other stuff, and we're trying to start fresh and start, new life. And because Liz, our mother, wasn't having anything to do with us, we only saw our brothers and sister once a year or so. And anyways, so it wasn't worth it. So she gave our dad permission to take us. So when we moved to Oklahoma, it didn't take too long for, I guess, our dad to realize that 2 doors down, there was a guy cooking meth. So, yeah. And but our dad stayed away from him and everything else. And basically, I was 13, just about to turn 14 that summer. And first time that winter when we played in the snow, we were so excited. We were from California. We didn't know, not from that part of California where there is snow, but we're from the part of California, from the beach area, from northern Fairfield, California, over there by the Bay Area. And anyways, there's never snow over there, ever. And so when we heard about snow, we were so excited. We went out in shorts, jeans, things like that, maybe a jacket. We didn't realize, we almost got sick because we didn't have the right type of gear on and everything. And when we did the snowman stuff, we made the snowman so big that his body was too huge and his head was just the same size. And we had a headless snowman. His head was next to his body, and that's how we had to do it. And then the year after, we did it differently, or this next time it snowed later that year, we did it differently. And anyways, so we used to walk across town from one side of town to the other just to go grocery shopping and things like that as well. It was hard for the first year. We didn't have a vehicle. But we grew up in California, a lot of that too, without vehicles as well. So we always walked across town, skated or rode bikes or, rollerbladed or just whatever. And I don't know. Our dad was always saying, well, we're making memories, kids. And I always thought he was just, crazy and whatever, and cheap and other stuff, which was cheap, but he didn't have much money, so. Then we used to go to this church that's Monday through Thursday but they serve Friendship Feast, which is meals for poor and homeless and such. We used to go there a lot, I remember, and we did that a lot. And every year for the Christmas thing, we went there on the one day that they had the meatloaf. And because in December, the fourth Thursday of every month, they always had meatloaf, which was really, really good. It was meatloaf with potatoes rotten or whatever it's called and stuff, and a roll, dinner roll with butter and a vegetable, and then they always had cake for dessert. And they never ever had seconds because everyone always knew what day to go on all the time. Just like the second Tuesday was always taco salad, and we went to that some though, but not as much as the meatloaf. Then anyway, then always in the Christmas for the meatloaf, and they had the meatloaf every year too. Like I was saying, they always had that Christmas special, and they had a Christmas dinner, and they also did the same for Thanksgiving. But for Christmas, they also had all these presents and sort of type of little gift baskets for kids and for adults. We did that every year and whatnot. And I also had a weird types of obsession when I was a kid. When we first moved here, I used to go around, pick up sticks, pick up rocks, pick up even trash, and I would run in front of my family and stay in the front of us when we walked. And I would always throw it to the left, to the furthest, or to the right, to the furthest, because I always had some weird obsession that if we walked around the different opposites, then that they would end up in some other universe or some weird thing. I was weird. I don't know. It was weird. It's true. OCD and other stuff. And then 8th grade, when I first went there, the first week, I had a couple of girls approach me, and One was slightly attractive with really big boobies. Sorry, God. Please forgive me. But she had really big boobies, but the first girl came up to me was less attractive, and she had this silver necklace for me. I guess she told my cousin she liked me and she wanted me to have the necklace. So I refused, but then they made me take the necklace home. And then that's when the other girl came up too and said she liked me as well. And I was a really shy kid at that time. So, I definitely would never, if I was the same person back then, growing up in school and working as I am now, I would not be doing this. But, so I've changed a lot. But, so I went home and I thought, okay, this girl's got really big boobies, but she's not super attractive or, such and such. I guess in my mind I was waiting for like a 9 or a 10. I don't know. And I was shy, but even if it was a 9 or 10, I probably would have even said hell no even then. And, sorry God, but I would have said hell no even then because, I was super shy. And I mean, I had crushes on these one girls, and this one girl in the 8th grade, Mariah, me and her, we flirted some, and she was always flirting with me. She said my vagina was showing. I looked down and she laughed. And then I was joking when I said it because we were passing notes back and forth, me and her and this other guy. And we, because we were the three in this 4-cornered table set up, and I don't know why I was joking. I was like, I'll kill you both or something stupid. It was a joke. I guess my sense of humor I got from TV and movies, and it was stupid. And she got scared, I guess, sent it to the teacher, and I got suspended. I got suspended for another 2 fights as well that year in 8th grade, and then I got expelled at the end of the year. I'll get to the expelled part at the end of the 8th grade, but there was other stories I'd like to talk about first. One story in the 8th grade, I ran from a substitute teacher, an old lady. She was a sub for the social studies class, and the social studies teacher hated me, but she always liked me outside of school. If I ran into her at Walmart or down the street or in a store, she was always super nice because she knew she didn't have to deal with me. And then another time, I got mad because computer class, they make you hide your fingers. You cannot see the keyboard, and you cannot see your fingers, what you're typing. So that's how you learn. So I got super pissed off because they kept telling me, such and such, and getting mad and bickering and yelling at me and complaining. So I got mad one day and I went to go print my stupid results because I got in so much trouble. I got to leave from class 5 minutes early every day from every class because I got into so much trouble and so many fights with kids because I got picked on and I got into fights and stood up to all the bullies. 9 out of 10 of them anyway. And, anyway, so I got mad one day and the teacher told me I can't leave until I print my copy. So I went to my results. So I went to print my copy of the results. I realized that there's a button that says, the section that says quantity. And so, there's no denying it. I went to quantity and I saw you could print up to 500 copies. So I printed 500 copies of my test results. So everyone else had to wait, and I guess, and when the bell rang, everyone was printing their results 5 minutes later after I left and was gone. And when they were waiting for their results to come through, they kept noticing my name over and over and over. And I guess at first they thought it was something, whatever, error. But then I guess everyone was laughing, and the next day everyone was laughing, when I came to class. The principal, not the principal, but the counselor, guidance counselor, whatever, pulled me into her office the next day. She said, I know what you did, such and such. And I told her, explain everything. Come to find out later on, I got ISD for that anyways. I can't remember how long, if it was for a day or 2, 3 or 5 or whatever. Don't matter. I got into trouble so much. I literally have my own big old, drawer full. Even the counselor was telling that. I got into this one fight, 2 different fights. One fight, this one kid kept, basically trying to slap me around, push me around. And I walked by him, and I knew he was going to do something. And when he did, I already had planned to kick, beat the crap out of him, and I did. Not exactly beat the crap out of him, because when I walked by him, he tripped me, tried to. I grabbed him, threw him to the locker, threw him to the ground, like in a, whatever, I don't know, takedown, whatever, and like a leg sweep, whatever. Took him to the ground, got on top of him, and was, I can't remember if I actually got to punch him or not, but the teacher was right there anyways. So all she saw was me. She didn't see him try to trip me. I got suspended. Another time I got into another fight with this other kid, Jordan, and he slapped me in the face, or no, he didn't slap me in the face, but, well, he might have slapped me in the face. I can't know. He was pushing me. And he was pushing me and poking me, and he was talking crap because he was a fat kid and I was skinny. And he was doing it in front of other kids. Then later on that day, he threw a book at my face. I got so mad. I got so charged up. I got up and I ran down the classroom all the way to the doorway where he was and tackled him to the ground, hit him so hard his whole arm scraped the ground so bad he was bleeding. And then I started hitting him, pulling his hair so I can hold him still, so I could punch him in the face. And as I was doing all that, then the teacher runs and she's, grabbing me. Everyone defended me though. The principal said, "You're lucky that everyone's had your back and told what happened that you said and that you was, self-defense, but I still have to suspend you." So I got suspended for the third time there. Then the fourth time, but before I get to the fourth time, which is in 8th grade, there was the other story. So after all, I'm talking a lot. After all that happened, I ended up, after that fight happened, the guidance counselor the next day talked to Jordan or something, and she talked to him, or it was that day or the next day, or when we got back from school or something, we talked, me, the bully, and the guidance counselor. She told him, this is how I know, apparently I have my own drawer full of, from history of getting in trouble. She told him, "You see this drawer right here?" Because there was all these filing cabinets. She said, "You see this drawer right here, this filing cabinet? This is mostly all Joseph right here. This is mostly him." She was like, "He's got a history. He grew up in California, got in trouble a lot." I was sitting there in the back of my head laughing. Like, why is she telling him that? And I didn't even know that, but it's kind of cool that I know that. And, anyways, so, fast forward, then a little bit later after that, then the guidance counselor pulls me back in sometime later in the year because apparently someone printed a whole bunch of copies of an elephant in computer class. They printed a whole bunch of copies of an elephant taking a dump. I got mad because she pulled me aside and accused me of it without even checking anyone's computers. And anyways, I said, so I didn't print that crap. I said, I don't know, you're accusing me. That's not fair. I didn't do it. Anyway, so she's like, "Okay, well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt this time, and we're going to do a background check and see what computer it came from. Then, if it's you though, you're going to get suspended." I said, "Go ahead. I don't care." They never called me back in for that ever again. And come to find out later on, it was a classmate of mine, Mitchell, who did that. And he was laughing later on, a couple years later when we talked about it. And I didn't care. But, it's funny. And then one more story, and then I'll have to leave this part of the chapter and then go to the next part in the next video. But the other part was we went on a field trip the very end of the last week and a half of school for 8th grade. We went on a field trip to the police station. On our way, I was bored. I had a whole bunch of markers in my hand on my desk, so I grabbed it, put them in my pocket. I don't know why. And I put them in my pocket. When I had them in my pocket, we were walking down a couple blocks to the police department, 3 blocks, and I pulled out a permanent marker, and pulled it out of my pocket. It might not have been permanent, I don't know. I pulled it out and I started writing on the wall as I was walking by. It was a bank wall. And the teacher, I guess some students saw it or the teacher saw it or whatever, she started taking pictures. And I thought this was part of the whole police station, field trip thing. So the police questioned me. They pulled me aside. I'm thinking, okay, is this part of the field trip? They start interrogating me, asking me these questions, saying, "So, where's the markers? Where's such and such? We know you did such and such." I had the markers on me, and I think they got them, but I said I never did that, though. I said I didn't write on the walls. I didn't such and such. I denied it all the way. And they said, "Well, she's got photos," and she showed us, and he said, "Well, we're going to notify the bank, and if they want to press charges, then we will be in contact with you later." And that's when this one girl I had a crush on, Kelsey, was in that class. She stayed all the way in the back when everyone was leaving to the next part of the field trip, the tour of the police station, and she was like, "Are you okay? What happened?" I was like, "Nothing, no big deal." The next day I went to school and I got expelled, but then I had to go to alternative school because I failed another English class later on anyways. So I'm going to leave this video right here and then I'm going to do another video.